Stoner Origin Stories with Demi York and B. Gutierrez.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of Stoner Origin Stories.
Stoner Origin Stories.
I am Demi York.
I'm B. Gutierrez.
Hi, I'm Chelsé Greaux.
I like that you introduced yourself. I thought we were going to
We didn't even get a chance. She
I
was
really
like, you know what?
and
I
you
got
guys
this,
pause.
bitches.
You guys pause. So I was like,
That happens a lot, I feel like, on our podcast.
Yeah, you're going to hear
Okay.
quite a few pauses. and
okay,
it's-
well then that didn't happen. We can rewind.
No, I loved it. I loved it. Well, no, that makes me. That actually makes me really happy. I mainly paused because, like, do you remember that Robin Williams show where he was talking about like the sequencing of a stand-up's bit, and he's like, "Send another line." That's what my brain is constantly
don't
doing
remember
all
that
the
one.
time. What?
I don't remember that.
Never mind. It's fine. It's fine. You don't get my weird 70s comedy
I'm
reference.
sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're here with Chelsé Greaux.
hey,
I fucking love Chelsé Greaux.
Oh.
Y'all, she is the homie comic extraordinaire.
Mhm.
yes.
Extraordinaire. We met. Did we meet I think we met pre COVID.
Right. I think we met like right before COVID started.
Yeah,
and
right
then
before it
COVID
hit.
hit, and then I didn't really see you for you didn't see a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
That was kind of the idea.
That's kind of how we got to get out of our houses again.
Yeah. But then once things started kind of opening back up, I started seeing you more and more.
Mhm.
We had a mutual I'll say comrade of ours. I like
A mutual comic in arms.
Yes. And he wanted to produce an all women's comedy show, and then
I always love it when men want to do that.
right. You gotta grab that when it happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's
But shout out Trevor. We like Trevor.
yes, it was Trevor was great. Yeah,
Which
Trevor. Trevor, he does the chaos? No.
he used to do at
Corrupted.
Corrupted.
Yes.
Okay, I know
Yes.
him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, and but that was like kind of like me and her seeing each other again was because he did one like right after the pandemic was starting to like lift a little bit, and then we reconnected and we've been cool. He's a homie, so I'm really happy to be here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we're happy to have you. I think that is where we met, was probably one of his shows.
that makes sense.
More than likely, because I was like, I know we fucking met. I know it. But like, I feel like I'm always like running around in like 1,085 fucking circles. So I'm just always everywhere all at once. But dude, I am so happy to have you on. I went through and I like watched like stuff on your Instagram this morning.
Okay, come on, research.
Listen, I'm a nerd.
I love it.
You can't have a nose like this and not find shit. You know what I mean? But
She's a
dude,
fucking bloodhound.
I am. Give me your jokes. But no, dude. I mean, you have a really cool presence about you, which I really appreciate. Because not many people do.
Wow.
Like, have you ever like watched shows before and you're like, that was a really funny joke? If you knew how to tell it. And I love that. I mean, it happens. Just saying.
Also, because I can right now, and it's late. It's after the fact, but I told her on the day of. But after the fact, right now, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, dude. Happy birthday. Are you a
Yes.
Virgo?
I'm a child of God.
Fuck your crystals in your bra.
Sorry, I really no, no judgment. I used to be in like kind of into that. I even have a Virgo symbol, but we don't have to get too deep. But I prefer not to talk.
Okay.
But I was born August 24th. But I do have the same birthday as Dave Chappelle, so I feel like that's like better than being a zodiac sign anyway. So.
I thought you were going to say, I thought that was better than being a child of God anyway.
A child of Chappelle.
I'm a child of Chappelle himself. Yeah.
Oh, no, he's not my dad. But he's obviously a great comedian.
That man could start a cult. So many people would join.
Which is sad, but it's so true. Because people would.
Did you know that dude from 10 Things I Hate About You started a cult?
I don't know.
The Joey guy who was like really into his looks.
Really?
Yeah, he started a cult in Venice. Like a fucking weirdo.
Oh, wow.
He wears a lot of scarves.
That's the first red flag.
Scarves.
It's just too hot.
Like arty scarves, like vests and scarves, and like a fedora.
And like it's too warm too often in LA to be wearing that much, insulation. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you need layers like that? You're not going up to Big Bear right now.
In Venice too, yes.
A scarf?
A scarf.
Scarf is Utah weather shit, like where I'm from.
Yeah, it's just ugly. Listen.
That shit's ugly. I'm
Is that what
not
you said?
anti-scarf.
Listen.
If your neck is cold, it's okay.
It is fall. It is the season for scarves.
It's sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
You know, like that popular song, Sweater Weather.
Sweater weather. It is sweater weather.
Well, I like to get right into our meats and potatoes of this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
How did you start smoking? Like, what's your stoner origin story? How did you get from smoking to drinking it? Or in general?
I'll tell you how it all started. Yeah. So... Oh gosh, the highlights. You ever like, man? No, man. You ever start to tell a story and you're like, oh wow, man, I've been through a lot.
Wow. And this is how I originally got into astrology.
You're like, how can I abbreviate this? Basically, long story short, so when I was like 20, like about to be 21, I was experiencing a lot of what I now know is anxiety. I was like constantly stressed. I was feeling depression. So I went saw a therapist and she was like, yeah, you do have, clinical anxiety and depression. And she said, I'd like you to try, some different medications. So for the next like year and some change, she rotated me on all these different things, Xanax, Zoloft, Prozac, all the Zacs, the Zacs, the Zofs,
Damn,
the
back and forth.
Yeah, because it was like every 2 months and I'd be like,
you'd have to try another one?
Well, yeah, because for me,
I feel like that shit takes time to...
Well, that's what she said. It would be like every 2 to 3 months, she would be like, oh, how are you feeling on this one? I'd be like, oh, I feel awful because I felt awful on all of them, right?
That's how I was.
And so for me, I don't know. I'm like 21. I'm just going with what my doctor's telling me. But I just felt so bad. And then after a year and some change of being on yet another one that she tried me on, I just couldn't do it no more. I was like, so I just stopped taking them, right? But here's the thing. So the next 3 days, you ever like had too much, to drink and then you get the spins or whatever? Yeah. I felt like that, but like totally sober. So I was just walking around for 3 days.
And
like
feeling
like vertigo. I felt constantly nauseous. I did not know what was going on, right? So I call my doctor and I'm telling her my symptoms. She's like, did you just stop taking your medication? I was like, yeah. She's like, you cannot just stop taking benzodiazepines. She said, you could die. And I was like, you could have told me that a year and some change ago, girl. Never once did you say, if you stop taking this cold turkey, it's going to be it. Yeah. It's going to be your last headache. Like, you never said that.
It'll be your last headache.
You never said that. Like, you lead with that. Like, even online when you watch those drug commercials, they're like, and death. Like, they even have to pause for the and death because it's the worst case scenario. So they have to make sure you hear that part. Like, forget, they speed through diarrhea and constipation.
Like, you're not worried about shitting your brains out. You're looking forward to the weight loss.
Yeah, and death. It's like, she didn't even like say it at all. So I'm sitting here livid. Like, why won't you tell me that? So then I have to go back in. She's like, you have to wean off. So she had me on 2 a day. So I had to go from 2 to like 1.5. One. I had to literally get down.
You had to filter it out of your system.
Yes, I had to filter it out. And it took like 6 weeks for me to like wean off of it. And
that's the worst feeling period too.
Well, see, here's my thing. I don't like anything that I can't quit when I want to. Okay? Jobs, medications, people. Like, I don't like anything that I can't quit because if I feel like this isn't working, I need to stop it today. Like, I don't like anything where it's like you have to like, oh no,
where you have to live through that for a long time.
No. And so, I finally weaned off, but of course, when I weaned off, I felt like how I felt before I started, I just felt the depression, anxiety came back. Now, I grew up in Virginia. I had a homegirl whose dad owned a farm, and her dad grew his own cannabis. And so I was scared I had never smoked weed before ever because I was terrified. I grew up in Virginia. I'm black. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was always raised like, oh, that's devil's weed. And like, it was like a felony if you got caught with like a nug of weed. So I just stayed away from it out of just pure paranoia. But then afterwards, one of my close friends from college, like I said, the one whose dad had the farm, she had some dad. She's like, my dad just grew this. She's like, he doesn't use pesticides. It's clean. So I was like, I trusted her.
Yeah.
And, because I knew people in college who like had smoked lace blunts. Like people did weird stuff in Virginia blunts. Have you ever heard of a Sherm stick?
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, it's like when somebody takes a blunt and dips it in formaldehyde, which also
is so wild.
Right. Which also, who has access to that? Like what? It's just who's sitting here, like who's pushing formaldehyde, like in the back behind a Walmart? Like, just where do you get that?
It's just people from funeral
Hey,
homes.
what's that in your kitchen there? Formaldehyde.
What do you use that for? Oh, I just dip my blunts in it sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
and it stinks. It's disgusting. It literally smells like so bad,
like death.
Right, it smells like as it should. So that's where only place formaldehyde is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's why I was always paranoid. So I think the combination of the fact that I trusted her dad grew it. That's why I was like, okay, I feel safe smoking this, right? And she said, I think it might help. And so I smoked it, and I'm telling you, the first time I smoked it, I was like, oh wow, well this is what I've been looking for. Like I was like, this is it.
Finally. Oh my God, something that makes me not want to cry every 5 seconds.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, and I was smoking Virginia weed, which is nowhere in like Cali weed. So like for the next year, I was smoking VA weed, which was cool. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to California, and I was like, oh, this is what I really needed, because it was just like, and
this is weed.
Well, yeah, because like to me, it's like I always looked at cannabis as medication. Now obviously, look, like just like you can abuse, Xannies and stuff like that, you can abuse weed too. So it is about balance. But for me, like I would rather, smoke weed occasionally for my anxiety and for my stress than to take a pill that if I quit it, like death is the side effect.
Yeah.
And I've always, and that's my thing. Like people smoke weed for so many different reasons. But like an example, like my mother, right? My mother, she came out to visit me a few years back. And my mother had not smoked weed since she was 14 years old. She smoked weed with her cousins. My aunt caught them. She's like, that's the devil's lettuce. How dare you?
Moon-headed.
You're a child of God.
But she is. But that's what her mom, but that's how
absolutely.
That's how
my mom was raised too.
And that's the thing. And so, my mom, over the years, so like 40 years she didn't smoke, right? So, she always had that in her mind. And I remember she came out to visit me, and my mother has, I'm not going to put her business out there, but mom has medications that she has to take, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when she, was out here, like it was like a big bag of pills, and, she would always complain about her stomach pains and all this. Anytime she took her pills, she'd always complain about the side effects. Yeah. So I convinced her, I said, Mom, why don't you try smoking weed? So for the whole time she was out here, we would smoke a bowl in the morning together, and then we would smoke a bowl at night together. And literally, my mom didn't have to take any of her pills.
Did she get through the whole bowl, or was it like just a few hits, or like was she like? Well, if you go from no weed to like California grade weed,
well, that's why we split a bowl. Like, so my mom, like I would pack a fat bowl, and like I feel like my mom and I would get about 3 to 4 hits each out.
Okay.
Yeah,
still 4 is a lot.
Yeah,
4 is a lot.
If you're not used to it.
It is, but here's the thing,
2
though.
is a lot if you're not used to it.
That's true.
Yeah. What fucking mids are you smoking in that shit?
I just have a really high tolerance. The idea of 4 hits doing nothing for me now, it makes me sad.
Right, but that's the thing. That's the thing. So my mom, she did not have to take. She was out for 2 weeks. Did not have to take any of her pills for anything. For anything for pain, anything for stress or whatever. She didn't take anything.
That's amazing.
And that was the thing is, I knew my mom because my mom, like before she came out and smoked with me, anytime she FaceTime me if I was smoking, she'd be like, you smoking that ganja again? I see. She over there smoking. She be like, you over there smoking that ganja?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and I'd be like, I sure am, right? At this point,
damn straight. I got a card and everything. I get tax breaks.
Right. Yeah. Well, it would be funny because like some of my homegirls be like, I can't believe you smoke weed on the phone with your mom. I don't even want my mom to know I smoke weed. I'm like, I'm the one who bought it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Also, does your mom know that you take Xanax for your anxiety? It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Only mine came from the earth and yours came from a lab.
Right. It's precisely. But it's funny because for all them years, my mom was like, "You smoking that stuff?" That. So then after the first night we smoked a bowl,
that tune changed real fucking quick.
Listen, this is what happened. I slept on the couch. I gave my mom my bed, right? You know, so I remember my mom is a morning person. Like, I don't know, she wakes up at the crack. Like the sun, she beat the sun. You know, the sun be like, "Dang, Patricia, you up again?" Like, my mom is early.
She's
up.
the one who wakes the rooster.
She does. Like, she's like, "Hey, rooster, you need time to call." You know, she's the one.
You need time to call.
And that's my mom, right? She get up so early. So literally, I think I fell asleep at like 2 a.m, 6 a.m. My mom's shaking me. She's like, just wake up. And I'm sitting here thinking something wrong. She's like, wake up. And I was just like, Mom, like, what's up? She's like, hey, you got any more of that stuff? And I'm looking at my mom, why are you whispering? We're in my house. Like,
in California. Nobody's coming in here for
like,
this.
you got some more of that stuff.
I like that she called it stuff.
Right. I'm like, Mom, you're talking code. Like,
you knew what to call it when you were chastising me for it. Where's that energy, Mom?
She's like, I don't want people know my business. I'm like, we're alone.
Who's gonna know you're FBI agent in the phone? It's fine.
She's checking cell phones for bugs at this point.
He's heard your road rage. It's fine. Oh my God. My mom did the same shit though.
Mm-hmm.
So like my mom now, like I'll call her and I'll be like, I'm just like so stressed, and I'll be fucking sobbing, and she'll be like, "Did you smoke yet today?" I'm like, "No," and she's like, "You should probably go do that. Call me back after you've had a joint." It's like, hell yeah. I like, it like makes my like inner child me like very happy that I can like, that my mom's like, "Go do your drugs." go do your drugs. Go do your drugs. You're gonna feel a lot better.
When we were kids and we were sick, you know, and we were all had to take them rope, what did our mom say? She's like, "You need to take your medicine," you know? So
exactly.
This is just
same concept.
It's the same thing. It's medicine.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
It's about the same price as like NyQuil. It's fine.
Right. Cause NyQuil's gone up.
Expensive.
Listen, I recently was like, I was sick and I had to take some NyQuil, and I went to the store. It was $14.99 for a bottle of NyQuil. I said, "Come on." A CVS brand was $3. I said, "Well, CVS gonna work today."
Well, did you know that the FDA actually might be repealing a lot of different medicine like that's approvals because they found that it's basically snake oil?
What's snake oil?
Like it doesn't work. Like it's a false like thing.
Oh.
Like so it's basically been using a placebo effect in our mind.
They've said the reason that NyQuil works is because it makes you sleep, and that's the hardest thing to do when you're sick, and especially if you have like a cough. They like, you know, it's sleep. Yeah. So they're like 9 times 10 if you sleep, you give. So that's what NyQuil is. That's why they made ZQuil.
Yeah, I was just about to say now they have the sleep the ZQuil one that just is. It's supposed to be just the drowsy effects.
Yeah.
They just squeezed out some like turkey drippings and shit.
Right. It's just the same stuff.
This is a Thanksgiving dinner in a bottle.
Exactly. Tryptophan. This the same stuff that weed is. It's just like liquid. It's like, but more chemically too. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, you know, I guess that's my origin story with weed. I mean, I definitely, like I said, I think that it has, I would rather, you know, somebody take cannabis than to take a bunch of prescription pills, you know, because it is natural, you know, and again, like I said, you can abuse anything, you know, it's all about moderation, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely, I'm glad that I found something to help me, you know what I'm saying, at that time, because I did need something, you know what I'm saying? And it was, those pills were not it. And I'm just glad that I got off of it when I did. So
yeah, well, because that's a hard journey too, because then it's like, I mean, that's how a lot of people get addicted to that shit. And I've never wanted to take those pills because my sister is an addict, and like I'm very, very cautious of that, and I'm very aware of that. Yeah. Like if I get to a point like with you, like if I get to a point with anything where I feel like I can't quit it, I'm like, this isn't good for me. I gotta not do this. Like I'm out. But I feel like with weed, it's like this is at least replacing so many other things that I would have had to take externally. And like all of those medications made me feel like the worst version of myself.
Well, yeah. Well, see, this is the thing about it is I feel like cannabis actually does things, right? Whereas in my opinion, I feel like a lot of prescription drugs, I feel like a lot of them just kind of put Band-Aids. It's like putting Band-Aids on bullet wounds, right? It masks it. Like, for example, I had major knee surgery 4 years ago. I was in an accident. I had ruptured my patella tendon. Worst like pain I've ever experienced in my life. Like, my doctor said it's on par with childbirth. So, so now having kids is up in the air for me. But
I've actually felt that before. I'm good.
But I'm telling you, man, the first week I was home from the hospital, the doctor, he was like, a prescription. He's okay, so this is for your codeine, your pills, right?
Yeah.
So he's a codeine pills for pain, and then he gave me stool softener. And I haven't seen stool softener since my grandma was alive. So I was like, why
do I need this?
Because those pills make you constipated.
And that's what he said. He said, oh, this is for the constipation. I said, so you want me to take a pill that's going to constipate me, but take away the pain? So I took it because I wasn't excruciating pain. It was like tear level pain. So I took it the first day. And I was like, oh no, this is what crackhead feels like. Okay? Like, I was like,
I was catch me at the Cecil Hotel after this. Yeah.
She's out here with her knee like, this ain't that bad.
Oh my God, like Drew in those braces.
This ain't too bad. I think
listen,
we might be able to get some squats in today.
Y'all been to the gym?
I was a zombie, girl. I was literally just like this, you know what I'm saying? And so I did not like that feeling. And I was like, oh no, see anything, because I don't like stuff that makes me feel too druggy, you know? And so I decided, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take these for the first week, but he wanted me to take 2 a day. So I only took 1 pill a day. And I literally just started just asking my friends who worked at weed shops, and they all brought me like CBD topicals, THC rubs, but they brought me CBD flower, all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, CBD, and this is just a fact, CBD actually reduces inflammation. And obviously post-surgery, that's the issue. Yep. That's what's causing the pain, right? So it's like, if I had kept taking the codeine, I probably would have gotten addicted to the codeine. Yes. My inflammation would have never gone down. And that's when I was
never pooped again.
Right.
Without the help of dates and stools out there.
Listen, I would have switched to like a senior citizen diet. I would have had to. And so I was like, no, and
what are you having for dinner? An enema.
And mashed potatoes.
Right. But I'm telling you, like, when I rubbed that topical, I was like, this is the codeine I need, you know? And I actually saw over the several weeks, especially me smoking CBD and rubbing it on my knee, I saw my knee get smaller and smaller. Yeah. And then it was like, so I'm just like, okay, that's the thing about cannabis is like there's so many different cannabinoids. People all like to focus on THC and like, it gets you high, but there's CBN, which is good for sleep. There's CBG, which is great for blood pressure. Like, there's so many different parts of the plant. That's why the medical industry has been so scared of it, because they're like, no, that's competition, right? It's, it's like a bunch of one-hit wonders trying to compete with Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? like weed is the Beyonce of drugs, you know? And then these others are like, no, we want to get in the fight too, you know? And it's just like, you're that's why, because there's so many benefits that don't even get you high, but they give you the benefits.
And it's accessible, because if you get some seeds, you can just start growing it yourself. You can nurture it yourself. And that, I think, scares any industry more than anything, is like, if you can figure out how to do this yourself, that's accessible.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of the reason why none of us have backyards anymore. You can't grow your own food.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, I have a whole weird conspiracy theory about how I think that big business is just like out to like squash us completely. It's not a conspiracy theory.
Well, no, fact. I mean, we can get it. We can go into
it's fine.
Yeah, but food, all that stuff.
No, we can. That's way too much for me. I'm so high.
My stoner brain went to conspiracy theories automatically.
Demi immediately went down a road that I wasn't prepared to travel on.
I'm gonna have to go on tinfoil hat and talk to X and them about it. But I mean, there was a medic that I worked with when I worked on Star Trek Picard, and she made her own like salve, like this amazing CBD salve, and I have endometriosis.
What's that?
Salve, like a cream, balm. Like a balm.
Oh,
and I also had cervical cancer issues, and that took out my inflammation so much.
The rub.
I would just rub it like all over through here, like at night before I went to bed, and I still get it from her, and I rub it all over there anytime I'm cramping really badly, and that plus a minimal heating pad on like really bad days. Puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
I feel better as soon as I wake up. It's amazing.
It's good. That's what I'm saying. Like, even like I read an article a few years back about a woman who had, because it was a cannabis magazine, right? They actually used to have them at the I used to work for a cannabis company where I was rolling joints and stuff like that. So they had them there. So I read an article one day on my break, and the woman was talking about her daughter, right? She said when her daughter turned 2 years old, her daughter started having seizures, right? And then, so from the age of 2 to 6, her daughter was having an average of about 100 seizures a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen similar stories to this.
Right. And it's so,
and it was like it's like a certain type of epilepsy, isn't it?
yes, it's a specific type of epilepsy that happens in young children. And it's like, it's apparently terminal, and it gets, so by the time her daughter was 2, because before 2, her daughter was like any other kid walking around playing. Then at 2, the seizure started. So from 2 to 6, she saw her daughter go from like this young, vibrant toddler to the point where her daughter was bedridden, couldn't speak, anything like that. Now, of course, they were in and out of hospitals for 4 years. Doctors said they ran all these tests. They gave her every medication in the book. And they literally were like, we don't know. We don't know. And what we can do, at this point, we can make her comfortable, but she's probably not going to make it another year. And then one of the seizures is just going to kill her, right? So they tell this to this mother. And then the mom, of course, she's upset. She's crying in the hallway. A nurse pulls her to the side and says, don't ever tell anyone I told you this. If you say I told you this, I will deny it because I could lose my license. And she's like, but you need to start looking into cannabis for your child. She was like, look into CBD and gummies and stuff like that. So the mom, who lived in a state where cannabis was not legal, by the way.
Yeah.
Her mom, got access to it and got it. Literally started giving her daughter these little 5 milligram CBD gummies, and CBD is not even psychoactive. So it's, gave it to her daughter, and literally the daughter did not have a seizure. She kept giving them. She said, I gave them to her every day for a year. And next thing I knew, that year that I was giving her CBD gummies, she went from having 100 seizures the previous year to where she only had 2. And then the following year, she didn't have any. And she was like, so you can go. And she said, of course, a lot of people in her neighborhood found out. The CPS tried to take her kid away. They had to get a lawyer. It was a whole thing. Yeah. But this is my thing. Like, see, that's the thing about cannabis. Like, she tried doing the legal medication. She tried going to the doctors. And what is a desperate parent supposed to do if you're telling me, oh, your child's gonna die, and then all you have to do is give your kids some CBD gummies, and they'll be okay? Like,
fuck
literally,
you and fuck your legal medicine. I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
Yeah, it's like her daughter started speaking again. Got her mobility back. Like, what? Like, are you kidding me?
Can you imagine the earth-shattering feeling of like hearing your child speak again after they were unable to speak because of a medical condition because you decided to take a radical path?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like, I'll do whatever I need to do as long as it's not like actively harming my child.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Proving to help them.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? They've used cannabis to help treat autism in certain kids. They've used it to help.
Yeah. And I send CBD gummies to some people that I know that have autistic children that live in places where they cannot get it because the FDA still has not approved cannabis for use on children. And like the great thing about it is my nephew is actually severely on the spectrum. He is nonverbal, cannot speak. He can sign a little bit here and there. But he has some pretty serious problems that stem from that. And there was a child that this autistic family created a nebulizer to get the CBD into their system because they tried all the medication. The medication was making it worse. I mean, my nephew he got worse every single time on medication. And we had all pushed my mom to try to give him medication. And she starts finally doing it and none of it's working and it's making it worse. Like, he's yanking out fistfuls of her hair.
Wow.
Like, and you sit there and you think about that and you're like, yeah, I mean, if this natural thing can make it so that's not happening and you don't create a lifetime of dependency or doctors just straight up giving up on your child, then fuck it.
I mean, but that's the thing. I'm all about if your child has a need, because see, all these doctors that are talking about, the danger of cannabis in children. Y'all have no problem giving like these 7-year-olds Adderall.
Or when they were giving them Oxycontin.
Okay. They have no problem giving them Oxycontin or none of that other stuff. Okay. They are prescribing basically like would technically level heroin. 1 narcotics to kids. Okay. So don't tell me like giving listen, I do not agree with giving. I do agree that you should be 21 before you try psychoactive cannabis.
Agreed.
However, non-psychoactive cannabis, like
it's like having a Tylenol.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so it's like if non-psychoactive cannabis is going to help a child that has a condition and medications have not helped this child, then who are you to say, but we'll take this pill or that pill? I mean, my gosh, when I was in school, there was a 9-year-old boy who had ADD. The medications they wanted to put him on, 2 different
fucking
pills.
Coke.
Yeah.
They wanted to put him on Coke.
Because it's not about helping people, Big Pharma.
Of course.
Big Pharma is about making money.
Period.
Well, it's like you've seen Katie
It's not
Porter and her
it's not helping
whiteboard.
people.
You've
Yeah.
seen that, right?
Otherwise, they wouldn't have started charging ridiculous rates for fucking diabetic medication.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Where
remember
you
that
have to
shit?
go up to Canada to get your insulin because
to
it's
get your
fucking
insulin-
like
to get your
$800
insulin,
a
it was like-
vial.
Yeah, it was thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Well,
It
did you
ain't
see
about helping people? Fuck
That's
out of
true.
here.
Did you see Katie Porter and her like whiteboard that she used against Big Pharma exec in a congressional hearing?
Oh,
Did
wait
you
a
see that
second.
shit?
Oh, wait, are you talking about the girl, like every time he said something, she would do the
Yeah.
translation?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. Oh my God, she's amazing. And I literally love watching her just fucking spell it out for these people. She was like, all right, so when you started this pill and it was $209 a pill, what have you changed since then did this pill get better?
Yeah.
Did you have to change the way that it was created? Like, what's going on? That it is now 480% more. And actually, I can tie that to a direct relation to your bonus.
Ooh. You know, I love when somebody spills the tea.
And I literally was like, oh, bitch. Yes.
I mean,
Like, she correlated it directly to a $500,000 increase in this man's pay.
right. Which, you know, and listen, I'm telling you, if all these billionaires just gave up like one yacht, we could save the world. Like, literally, like, that's it.
I just need one less 100-foot penis yacht on the ocean.
They just know, but it's true because I'm thinking about all these billionaires and stuff like that, and it's like they sit there and they talk about, oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and how, you know, I got here and blah blah blah, and I'm like, listen, look,
It's like the Kardashians calling themselves self-made.
well,
Oh, it's okay.
maybe self-swallowed, but
they're going to space. They're going down to see the Titanic. They're
The submersible. The submersible.
listen,
these people are very busy doing very important things. But Chelsea, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
I mean, listen, like I look, it's really simple. Like J.K. Rowling, right? And I know that she's I've always loved the Harry Potter books and everything, and J.K. Rowling is somebody who actually did pull herself up from her bootstraps
sure.
from nothing. But what I will say about J.K. Rowling is that when she reached billionaire status, she actually donated
a ton of money
so she could get back down to millionaire status. And when she was asked why she was like, I don't need to be a billionaire. That's ridiculous. I'd rather give them that money to people who need it. She said, I'm good. Millions of dollars is fine for me. I don't need to be a billionaire.
I'm gonna go to bed with a full belly.
Legitimately, if you don't have to worry about what you're doing and how much anything costs anymore in your life,
You don't need
you're
any more
good.
money.
Yeah.
You can do whatever the fuck. Like,
I was telling one of my friends that we live in an updated feudalistic society. We're all just serfs. Most of us will never own the home that we live in.
I feel like
We're
this conversation
always
is
just-
going very XG-ish. All of a sudden, all of it like QAnon, you know? Like, oh, fucking,
No,
where
it's just
did
like
this
it's like
fucking episode get off?
it's
to?
just it's
What?
fucking wild that we all pretty much live in a city where for us to even own a parcel of land is gonna cost us like $1.5 million.
Well, here's the thing. Look, at the end of the day, you know, and Paul Mooney's one of my favorite comedians, and and I love, may he rest in peace. But I loved how he just call out facts, and like the fact is like when Russia was the USSR, right? It fell internally because of the way they were treating their people,
Exactly.
right? And this is the thing, you know, like. Eventually, the more you fill a bubble, eventually it's gonna burst. Okay, like, but and the way I look at it is like eventually people are going to, because we do outnumber them. You know what I'm saying? We do outnumber the 1%. We do outnumber like even
I
like
feel
everybody.
we just gotta do it like the French do it every once in a while. Like I love that the French just sometimes just throw rocks at their cops.
Well, I mean, well, y'all can do that. Me, I'm
No, but
me, no.
But you know what I mean?
Like, don't throw no rocks when I'm around.
in France,
They'll be like, oh, that one, the one with the afro. No, girl. Lord.
No, but
please
like,
don't throw no rocks when I'm around.
It's in their like culture. Like because of the French Revolution, like they have no problem telling their government officials, go fuck yourself. This is bad.
It's organization. Like at the end of the day. Please, okay. It's just look. It's
definitely some white privilege that comes through in that.
But I hear what you're saying. But I'm saying the bottom line is organization. Other than look. If you want to get real, like anybody in the past, like in history that ever was in a position where they were going to organize the working class in America, that's why they got assassinated. Okay. Martin Luther King did not get assassinated because he was helping black people. The government couldn't care less. They were like, yeah, we can give the Negroes some voting rights. That's cool. You know, they didn't care. You know what I'm saying? What they cared is that when Martin had reached that level of notoriety, that was his next goal, to organize the working class. And then what? He gets assassinated. Same with JFK, same with Robert Kennedy, same with Fred Hampton, who was the leader of the Black Panther Party in Chicago. He got killed because he was going to organize the working class. He had the working class in Chicago organized. Yeah. Because that's the real fear. All this race stuff, or white women versus black women, or Asian women versus Latinos, and tall versus short, but girl, all of that is bamboozlement. Okay, right. It is smoke. It is smoke and mirrors. All they want to do is keep us distracted so that they don't have to. So that they don't have to be accountable, because that's the thing.
They can keep doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
Girl, America is like the F-boy of countries, okay? America, literally, and we are all like, American citizens, we're all like, America's like little loyal, little like little dumb girl. It's like, you know, like,
he gave me chlamydia, but I still love him.
Right. Because that's what F-boys do. Like, F-boys just want to, they tell you one. That's what all they're doing.
Tell you one thing,
oh,
do the
you're
other.
slightly dissatisfied with me? It's pumpkin spice season.
Oh my God! Let me get you that dinner that you wanted this week. I'm so sorry.
It's literally like, think about it. Like, all F-boys are trying to do is just
want a
throw
little
enough
splash of Beyonce.
Just throw those smoking bitches, and then when we actually call them out or whatever, it's like, and every 4 years when they do them elections and stuff like that, that's the same thing that they're doing. When they do those elections, congressional and presidential, that's all they're doing is telling us what we want to hear. They're pimping us, because election confirmation. Election.
You can't speak about this anymore. How did they do that?
Listen, confirmation, like it's literally like election years are pimp years. Okay, that's when the pimps come out. All that. Oh, are you tired of working hard for little pay? Well, I'm gonna fix that first day in the office.
You know how I said I was gonna do that thing? The federal wage hasn't changed in 20 years. We are gonna do it now,
right? And then all the American people, they're like, but we're all like, but you promised you would change.
I won't vote for you next time.
And you know what? And then you know what they say?
He was magically elected to a second term.
Well, it's a shame, but you know, he's got what? Alzheimer's now?
Yeah. Yes. Well, did you see that?
Shouldn't that immediately forfeit you from being the president?
It's because you're incompetent. You're incompetent. Like, you literally cannot. Like, and it's also a threat to national security. They literally just released a study, or I guess a report that dementia in our officials is a huge security risk to our country at present. I mean, look at Mitch McConnell. The man is what, fourth in line to be president?
Dude, he has had multiple strokes in front of multiple audiences.
First of all, can we get into Mitch McConnell's weird black hand? Have y'all noticed that?
Okay. He's literally Voldemort, man.
I'm telling you, listen, because that man, I'm sorry, but that man has said some very dark, evil things about the American people.
I agree.
Especially during the pandemic, when he was
just gonna have to die.
Literally, when he literally said that he was against paying he was the number one person trying to block us getting those stimulus payments, because he said, well, then, you know, what's going to motivate them to go back to work? We can't go to work. Everything's closed. Talking about motivation. Like, you know, and I
you know
was
what my
so
motivation
mad.
has and always will be? The fact that I need to eat and I need a roof over my head. You're not going to not motivate me by giving me $2,100.
But here's the thing, that all that stimulus stuff, it's like, really, it's to help y'all, because guess what? If people have a limited amount of money because they can't work and they have a choice between paying their rent and buying groceries and doing anything else, groceries and house gonna win every time. So when he was so like inconsiderate, he reminded me of the Disney exec that spoke about the strike. We're gonna wait them out until they're in the streets. And I'm just like, so, and then all of a sudden I noticed, because you know God don't play around, I noticed how right after he said that stuff, all of a sudden Mitch McConnell's hands started turning black. I said, see, again? Right after he made those
that's like
comments.
some weird monkey paw curse stuff.
Listen, I'm telling you, and it's just like, and
He's
he
out
won't.
here like, take my strong hand.
It's like,
what if it started shrinking like the guy on the Scary Movie thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Mitch McConnell's walking around with the tiny hand.
listen,
Exactly.
I'm telling you, and it's like, look, God don't like ugly, okay? And that, okay, you act ugly, God will make you ugly. That's my philosophy.
I agree. I actually
When
truly
the fly
agree with that.
landed on Pence.
Oh yes,
Oh, that was a glorious
that
moment.
was a favorite
and, like,
moment.
And also, like, because you know, flies, like if you jiggle a little bit, a fly will fly away. But the
no,
fact
it
that,
like nested on his head.
yes, they were like,
Like
it's
it
enough.
was like, oh, this is home. This is
Yeah,
home.
you know, the fly was probably like, oh, there's enough garbage on here to last me a while.
I mean, this smells like shit. So
I
perfect.
love the conspiracy theories that like Mike Pence was a demon and like that's why that
Flies
fly
were
just
coming out of his
like
mouth?
stayed and like landed on him. And I was like, honestly, that would make sense to me.
Listen,
Like I've seen enough horror movies to know that that's a thing.
They-
Like,
look, all I
James
know-
Wan told me it must be true.
Mhm.
all I know is, girl, they walk amongst us, so stay, keep the head on swivel.
Listen, no, my mom is Catholic. I grew up all about that. Like, my hometown is super haunted. Like super
Where you
haunted.
from?
I'm from Tip City, Ohio.
Oh well, that explains everything.
Yeah.
Sounds
Like,
haunted.
Tip City.
No, like the
Sounds haunted.
yeah, the town slogan
Welcome
is tip a canoe and Tyler too.
City.
Like it's a weird fucking city. There's actually a bookstore that burns down every few years. Like there's always a fire inside of it every few years, and they just keep making it a bookstore. Like this really flammable building.
Somebody
You know
really
what
doesn't
we should
want to
keep
read.
doing? How dare you?
Some ghost is really against literature.
Some ghost is just like, I saw you sell a book to a woman. No.
Maybe it was somebody from the actual city from the movie Footloose. Remember when they're
Yeah,
burning the books in
yeah,
Footloose?
exactly.
And they died. And then
Oh,
they just came
man.
back and they were like, burn all the books. And yeah.
What if there's no ghost? It's just like a squirrel. There's just like one squirrel that always just, and it's like the same generation of squirrels just keep knocking over a gas
And
can.
the family's just like, Cletus, you burned our home down again.
I just feel like now with AI and everything, I just don't trust anything I see anymore. that I'm like, oh, is that paranormal? Nah, that's just AI.
Yeah.
Or that's just some type of effects, because effects can create anything now.
Someone's playing a prank on me for a TikTok. That's what I always think. Anytime,
Yeah.
that's what I trick myself into believing, because I get sleep paralysis. And I have like the sleep paralysis demon.
Girl, you got a lot going on, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why,
No,
that's why
I'm
do you think I smoke so much weed?
Yeah, hey, you know,
I gotta sleep through the night.
okay.
Gotta go right to sleep. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that shit's so crazy. I think it's so cool. But yeah, I like to like trick myself. I'm just like, I stage my house 3 times a week. I don't fucking play around with that. Absolutely not. And if I forget to sage, like I feel it. It's like, maybe it's probably just because I'm weirdly OCD.
Chelsea's
but
a child of God.
I am not a Virgo. I'm a child of God. Thank you very much.
Your
I
Listen,
didn't say anything. I'm just
It's
saying I'm
spooky
not.
season. It is spooky season, which is my favorite of seasons. How do you like Halloween?
Oh, I don't celebrate
You
it no
don't?
more.
Okay.
Not anymore. Yeah, I stopped. So just I really like I really this year, like I always grew up Christian, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's stuff like, it's like I think that, but I've been out here in LA for 11 years, and I really it was last year when I decided to kind of refocus on my relationship with God and prioritize God and stuff like that. And that's a personal choice for me. I'm not
100%.
no fire and brimstone, you're gonna go to, I'm not
You showed an ankle.
You don't have pamphlets for us?
No,
is what
I don't have no pamphlets. I don't have no tiki torches, none of that. I don't have no.
I will not be on Virginia's campus anytime soon.
I will not. Yeah. So it's like for me, it's just like, no, it's cool. It's cool. And it's just certain things I'm just not. Yeah. But
I absolutely get that.
But
yeah.
So
like haunted mazes and shit like that.
and don't get me wrong, I used to, and I have done that stuff before. I just moving forward, I'm not. But yeah, no, and also too, I think like I've never felt comfortable even with scary movies. It's weird that I even celebrate Halloween because I don't like that feeling, you know. But I guess I just did it because it was
weird suspicion.
I used to do it. And I was like, okay, but like I will say that like I think that started because my dad, when I was 8, he let me watch The Exorcist, and which is like in hindsight, I'm like I would never let an 8-year-old watch The Exorcist, but because the thing was like my dad and my stepmom were gonna watch it, and I liked watching TV, so I just saw the TV was on, and I was like, oh, what are you watching? And my son was like, oh, Chelsea, you're too young to watch that. And
At least somebody said it.
Right. But then my dad was like, oh, it's fine. She can sit and watch with us. You know, it's biblical. And I'm like,
my life have I heard The Exorcist called biblical.
Well, because my dad and my son was like, what do you mean? But my dad was like, well, you know, it's about the devil and demons, and they're mentioned in the Bible, so technically it is biblical.
Just the loosest of threads, a horsehair of a thread. Just like, well, you know, they said God once. It's biblical.
So, yo, when I tell you, I could not sleep for like 3 days. I really think that movie triggered my insomnia.
Dude, my dad got me Nightmare on Elm Street for a birthday present when I was like a small child.
Trying to scare their daughters.
Dude, I think
it was Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was I think at my uncle's like house because he had a bunch of sons, so it was all boys.
Yeah.
And it was Nightmare on Elm Street for me too. There's a scene I'll never forget. It's a scene where her arm opens up with like little mouths.
Oh my gosh,
and then
I'm itching.
That's where he like stabs it in, and I'll remember that scene for the rest of my life. I've remembered that scene since I've been like 5 years old, and I thought it was the most terrifying thing ever. That in your mind he could make like your skin open up for someone.
Mine was Johnny Depp getting sucked into the bed and then blood shooting out of it. Wow. I wouldn't sleep in like my own bed or in the middle of a bed for like weeks, and my mom was furious with my father. She was like, I'm not speaking to you. Like they didn't talk for 2 weeks.
Oh my
And my mom was like, you're dealing with this. You made this problem.
Wow.
This is your fault. And I think it was just my dad. My dad still does this to this day. Like my dad will go during Black Friday and he'll buy DVDs for everyone, but they're just movies he wants to watch. and so then he'll gift them to you, but he'll gift the ones that he knows you want nothing to do with. And so that way you'll just be like, you just leave it behind at their house at Christmas. And then he gets all the movies that he wants. And he didn't have to say he spent money on himself.
That is a lot of effort.
When you could just buy the movies for yourself.
Yeah, you like, these are my movies. Like
this fucker's buying them out of the $3 bin. He's not spending a lot of money. Like he got me Hot Tub Time Machine 2 twice. Like,
come on, that's like a definite like 99-cent.
That is,
exactly like William. Also, who's buying DVDs?
Hey.
We've got Amazon Prime.
I know.
I'll have it forever if I buy it on there.
I'm not gonna lie, I still buy DVDs sometimes. I love
I bought Dogma and I bought Kevin
like
Smith stuff because he doesn't release them on streamers.
Who does?
Kevin Smith, like Dogma and all that. You cannot buy Dogma on a streamer. You have to have a physical copy, and they are fucking expensive.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they're like $200 because they haven't released more of them.
I think I saw that at like a bin last year, a Dogma DVD. I should have grabbed it. Yeah.
If you see one again, you get it for me. I love Alan.
For you, I'll get it for me, girl.
I'll give you all the money.
eBay the shit out of that.
That's called groceries. No, Alan. I mean, Alan Rickman as an angel is just so good. Yeah, I miss that man.
Man, yes. Rest in peace. I don't know.
Galaxy Quest was also a wonderful role for him.
Snape.
Yeah.
Snape.
What, you didn't see him in Galaxy Quest?
I didn't see him in that either.
I haven't seen Galaxy Quest.
Oh, it's so good. It's like a parody of Star Trek. It's fucking hilarious. It's Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman,
watch it.
Tony Shalhoub.
Because I love Tony. Now, Tony Shalhoub is a very good actor. He was great Monk. Oh my gosh.
And 13 Ghosts, the remake.
Oh, the remake. Oh, I did see
You might
that
not like that because you don't like that spooky, scary feeling.
Oh, well, I did. No, but I have seen it. I saw it years ago.
Like the Glass House with Matthew Lillard.
I saw that.
Matthew Lillard. That's the name I was trying to think of. He's in the same category as 3 people: Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy, and Seth Green. I just associate those 3 men
all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree with that. And Dak Shepard's in that list.
Not for me.
For me.
But Matthew Lillard for me, I always think of Seth Green, and Jamie Kennedy, I always think is Seth Green.
It's so funny because Seth Green is like half the size of both
I
those
think
men.
all of them are just Seth Green, and I always am just like, I think Seth Green's in that movie, and it's totally not every fucking time. And I couldn't remember the guy because the Matthew Lillard was from SLC Punk, which is from Utah, where I'm from. So like, I always am like, I think Seth Green's in that movie, and I'm always like, fuck, I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. Why do I think all of them were Seth Green?
I know this is completely infactual.
But he was in Can't Hardly Wait, right? Seth Green?
Yes. Well, is that the
Or
movie
is that
about
Jamie Kennedy?
No. That's the movie about the party, right? They're all in high school and there is a house party.
Yes.
Yeah. Seth Green's in that. He has the bathroom scene with the girl. Yeah.
Yeah, he has sex in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I just think of Austin Powers.
For what?
Seth Green.
I thought that's Jamie Kennedy.
No, that's not Jamie Kennedy.
Wait, Jamie Kennedy is Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Right? Or is that Seth
think-
Green? I know, I'm joking. I know it's those three. I just...
They're all interchangeable. Not at all, actually. They're so very different people, which is why it's always funny that we all get them mixed up.
Well, sometimes you gotta just round up. That's my rule.
If it's $60, it's really $100. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but even for me, like, there's been some times when I was like, I was thinking Idris Elba, but I might have said like, I don't know, Taye Diggs or whatever, And I know that they're different, but maybe I was like, because sometimes my brain, my mouth moves faster than my brain, right?
I agree.
And so sometimes I'll say Taye Diggs and I'll be like, oh, that, and somebody, somebody like is right there. There's always the people who love to correct you, like, actually, it was Idris Elba. And I'm like,
so
girl,
sorry. Did you not see that at the Arrow? It was playing there last week.
And I'm like, girl, round up, okay? Because you knew what I meant.
You were there with me.
You right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I can't stand
I like
people
to let
who try to.
that shit slide. But if you repeat it again, then I'll correct you because it's like you had a moment to think about it and get yourself there. But
yeah, but
mainly it's because like but I always do it in a way where it makes it sound like I just realized that it was a different person. I'm like, wait, what's that? No. I get why you would think that, but it was actually this person. I think so. And then I'll be like, well, let's look it up to be sure. And then like I'll make it seem like I wasn't sure either.
Oh,
I definitely will like fucking jerk you off a little bit about it before I like shoot you down until you're wrong.
Oh,
at least if I care about you.
If so annoying.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm sorry. Like,
No.
I hate, because like I had those friends, like, they were like, oh my gosh, when the smartphones and you first were able to Google on your phone, I would be like, because this is back when I was in college, right? And then I would have people, they'd be like, and they'd have the 2 ways or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, well, let's look it up online or let's look it up on Google. And I'd be like, I just learned this in like my class, right? I'd be like, oh, did you know that in my history? And then they'd be like, let's Google it.
No.
And then I'm just like, they'd be like, let's pull it up. And I'm sitting here like, I just learned this from a book. And then of course they Google it and they realize I'm right. They're like, okay, you were right, Chelsea, this time. And they're just like,
Ew.
I would never do that. I would never do that.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it was definitely a lot of that energy, like a lot of that, that, because I don't know what it is. And I know we've had these conversations, but I know for me personally, I feel like, you ever feel like there's just for some reason, like you come across women in your life and it's like they just, for whatever reason, if you ever make a mistake or flip up on a word or say the wrong thing or fumble over something, they love to just be right there exaggerating
they
it.
Get to be waspy as fuck about it.
Yeah, like they love that, like, because it's like you made a mistake, so let me like highlight that to like
let me put it in your face. For the rest
to
of
let
eternity.
everybody know that you're not perfect. I already know I'm not perfect, girl. I'm the bomb.
Bitch, I live that.
But
I mean, that's facts.
Okay,
That's facts.
But I know I'm not perfect, and it's just like,
I love that I'm not perfect. It's my favorite thing about me.
Right, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's just
Absolutely.
it's weird.
I hate that shit.
It's weird to me, and again, B and I have talked about this too, but it's weird to me that there are women out there, and I'm just talking about women just because that's what we're talking about. But why would you like think, somebody walks in, and even if that person triggers an insecurity in you, why would you sit there and just like try to tear them down or try to, I wonder how I'm gonna get her this, I can't wait, she's gonna say something and or if she does this and I'm gonna call her out. And it's like, I've been around girls, especially 11 years in LA, I've been around girls that
like
just
they'll
really
voice that.
consciously, they will spend all day thinking about a comeback for a girl they're gonna see at a dinner party in 2 weeks. Like, and I'm just sitting here like, those thoughts don't cross my mind. Like, I actually have, things to do, like work and eating. Like, just don't have time to worry about somebody else. And it's just so weird that energy exists in those, you know, but
I don't know, if you wrong me, I usually just write you out. Like, you're not in my thoughts. You're not someone that I'm caring to think about, because like, I know you're not giving me that same space in your mind. I'm not going to give you that shit rent free. If you want it, you got to earn it. You got to be in my face. Or else I just like, I mean, I've had like friends that have wronged me. I've had people that I fell out with here. And it's always like, I have never deemed it as, this is my opportunity to get back at you. This is what I need to do in order to feel better about this. It's always, if I continue to give you this energy and I continue to give you this space in my brain, I'm allowing you to win. I'm allowing you to have control over me when I actually want nothing to do with you. And the only people who have control over me in my life in any way, shape, or form, in the way that I inform my decisions, are my dog and my family. Like, will my family be okay? I, like, half the time I do anything, okay, way more than half, probably about 95% of the time, I'll be like, if my mom knew that I did this, would she be proud of me? And that's like where my brain gets dictated. I can never imagine my mother being proud of me because I thought of the perfect way to humiliate someone at a dinner party 2 weeks after they wronged me.
Yes,
and,
right.
And I can think of so many more productive ways to spend my fucking time.
It's dumb, and it's just like, and you see the look on their face, and they're so like satisfied. They're like, I got her, and
I stung the fuck out of her, didn't I? I'm just a little queen bee.
Yeah, it's so gross.
No.
It's so gross, but
I can't stand that energy. I don't want any part of it, and I hate it. I hate it when they speak it so confidently to you, like you're gonna be excited for them.
Well, I mean, because here's my thing.
Also, if it's taking you 2 weeks to think of a zinger, I'm sorry. As an occasional roast battler, I feel like it should not take you 2 weeks. That's a long time.
Right.
That's like preparing for a battle.
You're sitting there overanalyzing the words. Like, I don't know, but what if I said if? Or maybe if I say as.
It's like, it's almost like y'all seen the movie Carrie, right? The Stevie, right? It's like those girls, like those girls have to go and like get blood from how many pigs?
How many pigs?
To you know what I'm saying? Like they had to get all the pigs, they had to string the bucket up, and they had to make sure she stood on the right X, and like they got a guy to pretend to take her to prom and pretend to like her.
That's so much effort.
Did you see what I'm saying? And I'm like, why? All because you got and the thing is, and sidebar about that movie, because them girls deserve to not be able to go to prom. You got mad because you teased a girl and the teacher saw you and said you can't go to prom, so now you're gonna punish the girl that you teased. And now you triggered her telekinetic powers, and all y'all did. And that's what I'm saying.
And you know what? If that's what you're talking about, God will show you how ugly you fucking are.
Man. Carrie was a child.
Look.
That's the road we're going down right now.
Listen, but like that's the thing though.
Oh no, yeah, no. I mean, I use that as an example, the Carrie story, because it's more about like just don't be pushing people and stuff like that. Like, why? It's just so exhausting. Like, I mean, I've had girls just try to throw little shade, little moments to me. Like, I have a day job still, and one of the girls overheard me telling a friend like I had to go to work, and she was like, "You still at that day job?" She was like, "You still over there?" Right?
I love shutting that shit down. My favorite thing is I always go, did that make you feel better about yourself?
I looked at her and I said, I sure am. And what is it to you? And then all of a sudden, because see, this is the thing. You know how they say like, like resist the devil and he will flee, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you coming at me with that energy, I feel like you coming with that devilish energy. You trying to like really get me. You want to trigger something. You want me to pop off or do something.
You want me to lose my shit a little bit so you can tell everyone I lost my shit.
So that's why I like looking people right in their face. Okay. And being like, and letting them know what's up, because that's the thing. Like, so many people in this town, like I'm from the East Coast. I'm used to people like when I was in third grade, these girls that I met on the playground, like it was lunchtime and I went to go sit with them on the playground, and the girls, they all grabbed their lunches and walked away 10 yards away from me. So then I followed them and sat down next to them, and they followed away. Then they went to sit by the sandbox and I followed them. The third time I said, why do y'all keep moving away from me? They were like, Chelsé, we don't like you. We thought you get the hint. Okay. And this was was like 3rd grade. But you know
No,
what?
you're gonna say it with your chest, girl.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And you know what? I'm glad because you know what? I never ever wasted another second after that moment trying to be those girls' friends because they told me from the gate that they didn't like me. So I accepted they didn't like me and I moved on with my life.
There you go.
But like, right. But out
So
here,
many people are incapable of doing that, though.
but out here, that's what I'm saying. Out here, it's all this smoke and mirrors. It's like, oh, I'll invite like her roommates to my birthday party, but not her. Like, you know, like little shady stuff. It's just, oh, well, you
Subtle
still
digs.
It's subtle digs.
Maybe they still like your birthday idea. Your birthday party idea. My birthday party idea. Like, Demi's laughing right now. Somebody stole Demi's birthday idea once.
They really did. Like this
This
person did me really fucking
Sorry,
dirty.
should I not have?
No,
brought that
it's
up?
okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something completely different. That's why I was laughing.
No.
So this is an actual situation.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
this
this
is the
is-
same type of weird, like
Weird
underhanded
shit.
shade.
Oh.
Like,
That's what I was trying. I'm high. I'm not
Okay, no,
listening.
it's okay.
I told this friend exactly how they had hurt me. And I said, hey, you know, we've been friends a long time. You've been doing X, Y, and Z, and that's been really upsetting me. And I would love to have a conversation about this so we can clear the air and kind of fix it, you know?
Yeah.
And this was when I was really sick. This is when, before I got like part of my cervix taken out. And it was a really rough time. We had like a really hard conversation. Well, I tried to have a really hard conversation, and then they basically were like, fuck you.
Wow.
How dare you do this? I have other shit going on in my life. I can't deal with your feelings. And
Wow.
I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'll be over here.
Yeah.
You know, like fine, whatever. Like I was really upset about it. It's fine. And then this person went through some shit, and I was the first person they called.
That's
And
how
I
it
was
be.
like, I was who I am, and I dropped everything, and I was still there for them despite me being very upset with them.
Mhm.
And I even told them, I said, we don't have to talk about it. It's fine. You're going through this thing. Let me help take care of you in this thing. I made them their favorite meal that I make for comfort food. I got them snacks. I did everything. And then I find out 3 days later, this person is talking the nastiest, foulest shit about me at a party.
Mm.
And so I just straight up sent them a message and I said, hey, I've tried to mend this fence a bunch of times. I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to know.
I wish you well. I wish you peace. I hope that whatever is going on with you gets resolved.
Hmm.
And I hope you have nothing but success in your life. And I genuinely mean that. If I've cared about you at one point in my life, I will care about you forever.
Taking the higher road.
Yeah.
Taking the
And-
higher road.
And that's because I choose to care for the people I care for.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen by chance.
Yes.
And if you have fucked with me and fucked me over, I will definitely like just back off, but I'm never going to abandon you as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can't. Well, this is the thing. Is like, and it's all about boundaries, right?
Mhm.
You have, and that's one thing living in LA has taught me. You
It's
know,
how to
is
set
that-
them for sure.
how to set boundaries and stuff, because I am an empath and I feel things very deeply, right?
Mm.
And one of the things about, and a lot of artists are empaths, but there's different like levels and types and stuff. So it's like one of the things is, unfortunately, empaths, we tend to attract narcissists, right? Because
Mhm.
narcissists are always looking for
someone who
empathy, for somebody who will give them the benefit of the doubt. That's usually an empath, right? You
Mhm.
know, and so I've unfortunately been burned by some narcissists. Like I actually had somebody that I was friends with when I first moved down here. I had somebody I did not have a car at the time, and you know we took the train out to do them a favor, and then they offered to give me a ride back, and then they ended up leaving me at a bus stop with my bags, you know, because I had just gotten kicked out of where I was staying. So it took me 5 hours to get the person that I was staying house, because I had to wait at 2 a.m. to take the bus from Burbank.
Holy
Had to wait on
fucking
Skid
shit.
Row, all this stuff, right? And then, long story short, stopped being friends with that person, stopped talking to that person. And then maybe couple years after that, they said something to me about it. And they're like, well, you know, why don't you speak to me? And I was like, you left me stranded at a bus stop. And the person looked me dead in the face and said that, they were like, I never did that. And
The gaslighting that comes with that relationship.
And I literally, I felt my brain just go like, you know, I felt like,
Like-
I felt
like the
like
gears have stopped.
R2-D2. I was like, you know, I was like, where's C-3PO? Can somebody translate? I was like, you know, like he might as well have been. I was so like, wait, I need a Jedi Yoda. Somebody translate.
She was doing the racing sound.
I was like, what is happening? me and that person, we have since like reconciled and we're cool now, but I did not talk to that person for like 8 years.
Yeah.
You know, saw them around, and it was, you know, and just finally, because I was working on just getting to a place of forgiveness, because forgiveness is for me, you know, it's not for the other person.
Agreed.
And so once we had that conversation and they apologized, but it's like I didn't talk to them for 8 years. I was like, I cannot have you in my life. And even now, it's like I don't think I can ever trust that person, you know, with like intimate details of
cordial.
my life and stuff like that.
Cordial,
but I don't have any anger towards them, and I don't have any hard feelings. We all make mistakes. We were both young when that happened, and you know, you just let it go and you move on. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't. But the boundary is that I can't ever be a close friend with you like we were before.
I'm the exact same way.
Yeah.
I'm the exact same way, because I always just say, yo, co-workers. All co-workers.
Right.
And the ones that are my friends, right? The ones who know personal shit about me, those are the people I fuck with. And if you fuck up and you're out of that ring,
you're out of it.
I'll still be cordial with you. I'll still be your friend. I'll still high five you at shows. But am I inviting you to my cookout? No.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not coming elsewhere with me. I'm not putting your name in the rooms.
Yeah, it's and you can't, because this is the thing. You give
and
people,
that's an important boundary.
You have to, girl, because people.
You gotta protect your own peace.
People, because you know,
something I've learned recently, like the past year.
It's so exhausting.
It's so hard.
Of how to do it, like how to make those decisions. Those decisions are hard decisions sometimes. I'm a really trusting person. I'm a really trusting person unless you fuck with me, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like,
I try, you know, I try to catch red flags, because some of the people that have stabbed me in the back, little cameo. But yeah, no, but people I've trusted, like there were red flags that they would do that I ignored, even though my gut was screaming like, this is not a good sign. And then it would I would be friends with this person for years, whatever, trust them, whatever. And then they would stab me in the back in the worst way.
And it's always right when you start to really put your guard
them
down and trust them. That you're like, well, you did exactly what I thought you were going to do.
Excuse me. No,
For those of you that can't see Moose, she just backed it up on Chelsé.
I love it. Okay, hey girl.
No, but yeah, like it's always right when you're like, okay, this person seems all right. You know what I mean? You're like, maybe I should let my guard down. Maybe I should give them a chance, right? And then all of a sudden, burn every fucking time.
I find my favorite way, at least in Los Angeles especially, is my favorite way to judge people and whether or not I do want to keep them in my life, or the way that I want to interact with them is I listen for how they speak about people when those people are not present.
Yes, because if you go talk smack about them behind the back, I already know you talk smack about me. Okay,
because that person's supposedly a very good friend of yours, and you barely know me. So all I ever have to do is slip up for 5 seconds near you, and you are going to hyperfixate on that and tell everyone about my huge issue and be hyperbolic about it. And I like, you know, if I have friends who are like asking me about other friends that I have, like, oh, like what's going on with that person? Like they seem really like off, or like something like that's going on. I'm always like, you know, I don't know. Like I'm hanging out with them. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, but I'm sure if they want to talk about it, they'll eventually open up about it. Because like, one, your business, not my business to tell.
100%.
And two, if that person wants to make that public, that is on them. I'm never going to make that decision for you. And I especially will not be speaking about it with someone who has already told me they have an odd interest in what's going on, and it might not be from a genuine place.
Girl, let me tell you, I could rule the world with the amount of secrets that I know.
Same.
Okay?
Same.
I could rule the entire world. So I'm telling you. Because I'm a steel trap. Like that's my thing. Like I really, and I think people can sense that about me, which is why unfortunately I've been in situations where people have told me things that I did not want to know, but they know I'm not going to tell, so they're like,
one ear out the other.
They're like, ooh, secret dumping ground. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
would you like my drama?
Right. And I feel them secrets and stuff like that. And so I'm telling you, like, people have told me some secret things, but again, it's not. I do my best to treat people the way I want to be treated. I'm not going to put my business out there. Now, unfortunately, I know that a lot of people are not like me, so that's why I keep my secrets like close to my chest, or you know, it's try because you just have, you know,
I keep I put
My
most of my
business.
personal business out there, but
Yes.
if it deals with other people, I don't. Like if it's just about me, that's my, I can say whatever I want about it. But if it's other people that are involved, no.
Yeah, it's just like, because but that's the thing is like I like that I'm like that, There's some people who cannot hold water, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like you tell them one thing and then before you know it, it's on Twitter, Instagram, it's on, FaceTime, it's everywhere, It's just like these people move faster than CNN with how much they can't hold water. Like, so, okay.
Yeah, you're like you're telling them the story, they're typing it out to someone. Like, hold on, can you go back to that last part? I missed that.
They were like, so wait,
I was about to say, you get off the phone with them, you turn on Facebook.
They're
and
like
all of a
court
sudden
reporting.
news.
Yeah. They're court reporting like it's the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah.
No.
Chelsea talked some shit on a bunch of people today on a podcast on Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
More on this at 9.
Right. It's just like there's a whole thing type. They're like, oh, sorry, did you say you lost everything?
Yeah. I'm sorry. How horrendous was that for you and your family? How did you truly feel? Which drugs did you take to forget? Yeah.
Right. Did you spell your last name with 2 L's? Okay. I just want
to make sure for the byline.
Let's just get in there that they're also against Big Pharma and might need to be investigated and murdered because they're promoting
Chelsea will not be
holistic wellness.
involved. Dude, this was a blast. Thank you so much.
Oh, is it over?
On.
Oh, wow.
Where can the people find you?
Where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Chelsé Comedy. That's CHELSAY Comedy. I'm also same thing on Twitter, and you guys, but I'm barely on there, so you're not going to find me on Twitter. Who am I kidding? Like, I tweet like it's an epiphany. I'm like,
now it's Threads,
right? It's Threads.
Yeah.
I'm
leaving that X shit alone.
Yeah, whatever it is, Eli's Eli.
Eli.
He's rich enough. His name can get messed up. Okay?
Shout out Eli.
Ilana Cole. Okay, let me stop. So then Chelsé Comedy. So then you guys can see me. Oops. Oh, this keeps happening. You guys can see me on that. I am on YouTube. Just type in my name, CHELSE GREAUX, and you can see my specials. Speaking of that, I am taping a comedy special October 21st at the Skiptown Playhouse. I'm doing an 8 o'clock and a 10 o'clock show. So definitely the link in my bio on my Instagram page. You guys can get tickets. It's going to be a great time. So, this is my baby. My special is going to be called Unmuted. It's going to be like one of the most honest, raw specials I've ever done. So I'm very excited. And yeah, check me out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, you ready to go home?
Let's go. All
right. Peace out, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Got some conspiracies to research.
Oh,